And welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Stocks. Before we get started, before we talk about anything, how about we get some coffee? All right, so don't forget to drop a like on this video as well as subscribe, because honestly, it does go a long way in supporting the channel. It only costs you free, so it's only free to press the like button and the subscribe button, and it really does help me out in creating more and more videos. So we do take a look at the stock today, at the heat map of the S&P 500, and overall it does look pretty positive. It does make it seem like we're going into a very positive market this week, but don't forget that the election day is tomorrow, and it might just take us down to the floor eventually. So don't put all your eggs in one area, because that can, hurt a little bit. If you are new to the stock market and to investing, I will be doing more videos in the future about how to, buy a stock, how to increase your way up and get more gains in return. So please stay tuned on that video. But I do want to talk about three stocks that I really do like, and that I've been liking honestly for a while, especially going into this new era of trying to be a little bit more greener in the earth, trying to go into say for example like electric or stuff like that. It's very important to plan for the future, especially if you are a beginner investor. You got to plan out for the future. We do look at HYLN. HYLN is one of the stocks that I've really been interested in. They do have a pretty scary drop in the 1 month chart, and that's of 52.32% to the downside. Today they were down to around $18.26. They did open up at $18.92. Now, is it bad to invest in a company that has 52% a decrease in 1 month? Yes. Let me be honest, yes. But you have to see past the 1 month chart, especially since October is a highly volatile month, right? You have to see what HYLN personally is doing. They're doing, Class 8 trucks, that gives you an opportunity to have Class 8 EV trucks, which is super important to the environment, and it really does help out the environment after all, right? They were going for around $10 at one point back in June, and they did scream all the way to $55.85. Now, do I think that they're gonna go back to this 443% to the upside mark? Yes, I honestly do. We were at this point, one time we were at this point where it was at $18 and $19 and $20, and all of a sudden it just skyrocketed to 180% to $55, and that's because it had a lot of hype, right? It had a lot of hype. A lot of people were really thinking about it. Oh, it's gonna explode to $100. Me personally, I was saying that as well, but this is a correction state right here. So it did go back to around $18. I think it's a perfect opportunity for a lot of people to invest in a company like this. So keep that in mind. Workhorse is another company that I really like. They are still under the impression that they will get the USPS contract. Currently going for $16.01. They were going for around $27 to $28. At one point, even at $30 at one point, and then they've gone down to around 47% to the downside. Now, it is pretty scary that all these EV companies that I'm gonna show you are going down to the downside. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I am saying that you have to look past these negative numbers that they have. They are doing great things in the future. The only reason, not the only reason, but a couple reasons that they are going to the downside is, one, they are getting categorized with Nikola. And if you remember Nikola, you know, started scamming people for money, and they were at around a $90 price at one point, and then they've gone down to around $18, I think is the latest price. But Workhorse is definitely a company that has really have high potential. They will have the USPS contract. They have some contracts with school buses and stuff like that. So it's definitely something to look into. Now, the last stock that I really want to talk about, and obviously I'm going to make this video super short, is Ride. That's the ticker symbol, but it's Lordstown Motors. They are making the Endurance. Endurance is a truck, an EV truck. You know, say for example, just like the Nikola truck that they have. That Tesla is making. Diamond Peak Holdings was the previous name, and then they got acquired via SPAC. They are also down on the negative side, down 43%. Now, $31 was the highest point that they got, but they were trading at around $10. Now we're almost at that price again. They don't have much money made from these trucks because they're barely gonna pump them out, but I believe this is a perfect opportunity for everyone to join into these companies, because if we imagine that they do this upside trend again, that's 206% to the upside. We're almost at an all-time lows, and I believe that they won't go any lower than that, right? So 206% is freaking amazing, especially to have returns. If you're new in investing, maybe you should invest in something more stable. You know, look into Apple, look into Microsoft, look into those type of big companies that are already in the S&P 500 to give you a more stable return. These companies that I have talked about, they do have a tend to have a higher volatility, so it might not be for the faint of heart, but it is very, very important to definitely look into it, especially going into these numbers that they currently have, right? Anyways, that was today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. I don't want to make this video too long. I do want to give you guys more information on less time, so I'm not wasting too much of your time. Don't forget to like this video, as well as press on that amazing subscribe button, because honestly it does go a long way in supporting the channel. I will be making more videos for you guys. If you guys have a topic that you guys want me to talk about, don't forget to drop it down below. And if you're new to investing and you're a new investor, please comment down below and let me know what you guys need in order to feel more comfortable in investing in the stock market. But I will see you guys next time on Coffee and Stocks.